Was Jesus a conservative or was he a liberal? Hello friends, I'm Pastor Chester Hitchcock, and in this video I want to share with you some thoughts regarding this question, was Jesus a conservative? But before we get to that, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel, and at any point during this video you can hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to make sure that you get a notification. And don't forget to hit the like button as well and to share the message with others that you know. And be sure to leave me a comment because I would love to know what you think. So let's get to this topic of Jesus regarding being conservative or liberal. This is a question that many Christians have asked me to explain. Let me begin by saying that while Jesus was a law-abiding citizen, he was crucified as a lawbreaker because the religious people were so focused on their legalistic view of God and God's law. For example, Jesus was falsely accused of breaking the Sabbath. You can find that in Mark chapter 2, verse 23, Matthew chapter 12, verse 1, Luke chapter 6, verse 1, John chapter 5, verse 1, and many other places. So to be certain, Jesus wasn't criticized as being too right-winged and too conservative, but rather as being too left-wing and liberal. So we must ask ourselves, how has Christianity managed to return so fully to the religious errors of the past? How has the word conservative that describes Jesus' accusers become the preferred word for Christians, while the word liberal that describes Jesus and the reason that he was crucified has become so hated by those who take his name daily? Someone told me the other day he wasn't liberal, he was just progressive. I said maybe he was, but he was crucified being accused of being too liberal. So regardless of how we interpret the word, that's why he was crucified. So again, we come back to why have these words gotten confused? Why is the word conservative seen to be a positive word and the word liberal is considered to be a negative word? And I actually believe that there's a biblical reason for this. Because you see, in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, it says he, referring to Satan, is filled with fury because he knows that his time is short. In other words, Satan is angry. He's full of hatred and cruelty. And these are the tools of Satan. But they are often presented culturally as necessary to maintain status quo. Sometimes you've just got to use some cruelty and hatred. Oh, that's not true, my friends. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 says the devil is like a roaring lion. You see, the male lion, how lions catch their prey is that the male lion will roar once he has his pride, that is his female lion, set up ready to trap. He roars and scares the prey into the midst of his lionesses. Fear is a key to the lion, and fear is key to the devil and to too many religious leaders. Matthew chapter 24, verse 24 says, false messiahs and false prophets will deceive, if possible, the very elect. What greater deception could the devil conceive than that of craftily switching the perception of words that identify the difference between Jesus, who was crucified for being a liberal, and his accusers who were too conservative? What greater deception than to cause people to fear that which actually reflects Christ himself? Like it or not, Jesus was far too liberal for the religious people of his day, and the same is true for many Christians 2,000 years later. One would think that after 2,000 plus years, Christians would have had plenty of time to figure this out, but the devil has also had 2,000 plus years to perfect his deceptions. As a result, the average Christian can be easily caught in the deception because many Christian leaders who themselves have been deceived continue to spread this kind of conspiracy theory from the pulpits in the same way that the religious leaders did in the days of Jesus, attempting to protect God's laws, to conserve and protect. Deception is the belief that there are alternative facts. Everyone has their own opinion, and whatever your opinion is true, but truth is truth, and facts are facts. And when truth is undermined, and lies are accepted and promoted, for whatever reason, deception is the end result for those who neglect to take the time to sort out the truth. So back to the words conservative and liberal. Here are the facts. The word conservative comes from the root word conserve, which means to protect or defend even traditions, and also to oppose any change. The very thing the religious leaders were trying to do that led them to crucify Christ, who was changing too many things for their liking. The word liberal comes from the word liberate, or to make free. And in Luke chapter 4, verse 18, Jesus said, I have come to set at liberty those who are oppressed. I have come to liberate those who are oppressed. And John chapter 8, verse 36 says, if the Son has set you free, you are free indeed. If the Son liberates you, you are liberated. These liberal ideas that Jesus taught were not well received by the religious people of his days, and they were trying to protect and conserve and defend their opinions about God's law and to conserve them. Some Christians today are as fearful of spiritual freedom as the religious leaders were in Jesus' day. I realize that as a pastor, I'm taking a stand on that which many pastors disagree with, but isn't that exactly what Jesus died for? If you have been convinced that liberal is bad and conservative is good, I understand. The deception is very strong. The intention of most Christians is that of being on the side of right and instead of being on the side of wrong, so they want to conserve. Nevertheless, I hope that this helps you see the deception of Satan being repeated near the time of Christ's second coming as it approaches in the very same way during the time of Christ's first coming. So don't be so quick to jump on the conservative side and to condemn those who are liberal. That is exactly what happened 2,000 years ago, and that's what got Jesus crucified. So if this video has been thought-provoking, I ask you to hit that like button and share it with somebody else that you think would benefit from it. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can be sure to get a notification the next time a video comes up. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.